Hi, welcome to the Train Shop Weekly. I'm Bill Henning. This is my brother Harry Henning III and Walt Irvine.
How you guys doing today, ladies and gentlemen?
And this is Volume 1,
Episode 6.
Episode 6. And we're on the road today. We're making a road visit. We dropped in on Gunrunner John, John Will. We kind of snuck in the back door and set up camp here. We're checking out his layout. We're gonna give a we'll drag John down the steps and introduce you to John in a few minutes. Meanwhile, we'll play with his trains before we let him know we're here. Couple new things Walt thought was interesting. So Walt's going to share a thing or two here.
We got some new books in the store. Some of them probably a couple of them have been out for a while, but the new tourist train guide.
I might need that for my trip.
From Trains put out. Got all different. What do you call, a lot more than what's in the actual magazine.
When we were kids, when my dad used to plan our vacation, he always had that in the car. That's where
I still have one of Dad's old original ones from when we were kids. Yeah.
Those of you who want to look for getting since it's been locked up, where a lot of things are opening up this summer. We need something to do. Family trips, do some railroading. Here's a book you might want. And we got two I really think are really cool books. Trains put out revisions of
My favorite,
steam locomotives of North America and the diesel locomotive. This goes through pretty much the history of the diesels when they came out and gives you some interesting numbers of what engine was produced the most. And believe it or not, I was surprised to see it was the Jeep 9.
Jeep 9.
I mean, that was done in the
Jeep 9s were done like crazy.
They're like over 4,000. I think the next closest one was like 2,000.
Well, I guess pretty much at that time, most of the railroads were converting from their steam to diesel. So that's one of the things that was available.
F7 or Jeep 7s and Jeep 9s and F7s.
I thought the F7 would have been, what do you call it? But the Jeep 9 is
that was the primary mover.
Yeah, that's the king. That the Jeep 7.
Well, what else? Vol.1 and Alco each had locomotives too at the time.
Yeah, it has all the manufacturers in here. Kind of tells you who they built. Little history of the different things. Got a little in thing of the engine inside, what an engine looks like. A couple other neat things.
It's a good little reference book.
Yeah, it just
needs that little reference.
But it's got like a lot of wealth of information and everything in it. So where is that page at? Yeah, it had like EMD engines, but in general, they kind of tell you. Let me see where was it? Yeah, Jeep 9, 4,092.
Throughout the country.
Yep, that's how many they produced, were built then. Yeah, Jeep 7s at a next closest thing was 2,700. And I guess now the next biggest one is the SD40-2. That's probably why. So they produced about 3,900.
That's why a lot of these older railroads, you see the Jeep 9s and Jeep 7s. Like if you go to Boyertown.
Yep, they got a Jeep.
They got an old Jeep 9.
Yeah. Didn't really get into the steam book yet. I'll probably look at that tomorrow if I get a chance. But pretty good reading material. Anybody interested?
Good references.
Good reference books.
Well, I have a
Our next new thing.
Well, as everybody know, I'm an Amtrak fanatic, and I've been building an Amtrak set, basically based on the first year of Amtrak, the 1971 era, the Rainbow years. So I do have a pretty long set with all different color cars, different manufacturers. The complete set has a lot of the Atlas cars, some Lionel. I have a Golden Gate Depot, MTH. So it's a real hodgepodge, which works well for that engine. For the past year or two, I've been looking for a good diesel to pull it. So I was using Lionel's Penn Central E8s because there was a lot of Penn Centrals used at that era. So I was kind of excited this past year when Lionel came out with the Amtrak the 4316, the first paint scheme, the day one paint scheme. So kind of retiring my Penn Central
Penn
ones
Central
for the
and setting it
so
aside.
I did bring those with me because I really haven't run them yet. So I figured Gunrunner John's layout here was the.
Let's get John down here and have him play a
Yeah, I
little
think
with
John
us.
caught us down here, so he caught us. So I guess we should
All right.
bring him in. So
And up the bridge.
All right, guys, introduce. Hey, bring a remote with you.
Okay.
That would be a nice.
Oh, yeah.
I need your remote.
We'll need a remote.
Need a remote.
I know you've got one here.
We'll bring them all.
Bring them all.
All right, got it.
Awesome.
All right, guys, introducing Gunrunner John. Wave to everybody, John.
This is it, my new layout.
So
I
welcome
like
to,
this lift bridge.
welcome John Will, also known as Gunrunner John. He's been a wealth of information for both us and pretty much everybody on all the O-Gauge forum, the Model Train forum.
Yeah, you're big on the OGR forum. Probably a lot of people talk to them.
A couple people occasionally chat with me.
And helping us for a lot of years through a lot of stuff, both on our layouts and customers' layouts.
So after we play a little, we'll do a little tour of John's layout. So let me grab my edge. We had stuck them on ahead of time.
No, not yet. I have two engines sitting on the door.
All right, here we go. You want me to move the camera down?
Well, one of the things I like about this engine is it has some new sound to it. So I find these are very similar to my Penn Central ones from, I guess they came out about 4 years ago. And one thing I like is they have some new sound to this. They actually have some, kind of some real radio chatter.
What's nice is they did actual recordings this time.
Yeah. They sound a little more realistic.
Yeah, they did the actual recordings with the Excella as well, which I think is great.
We can take the main. He should be through any minute.
It sounds just so much better than the old traditional.
Well, the other stuff is all canned.
Yeah.
I should have brought that in.
See, that's your can version.
Yeah.
Hold for signal indication. Dispatcher out.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds so funny.
We can take the main. He should be through any minute.
I mean, it's such a difference.
How the smoke units on that thing?
I had them turned off. Let's see if they fire up.
Clear boards all the way. Gonna make this run in record time.
I mean, like this running record time because it's not that far.
All right, John, what do you think of Bill's new E8s?
I like the E8s. I don't have a decent set of E8s, so
They might stay
Imagine,
here.
imagine
they
that.
might, you know,
Might get kidnapped
maybe
for track
maybe I have
time.
maybe I have a set now.
All right, we'll park this, and then we're gonna follow John around. He's gonna give us a quick tour of his layout and what he's working on here. Okay.
So this is it. This is my new layout. Just got all the track down. Everything's powered. Switches work. Not a lot of scenery yet.
Not a lot of scenery, but you got the mechanics, the important part just about situated, huh?
I think almost all of the electronics is working. So
One of the things I noticed first, whatever that you showed me, was your lift bridge, or your whole layout kind of lifts up, doesn't it?
yeah, this makes it a lot easier for us old guys to go in and out. So this whole section.
That is really cool.
And there's all continuity. The track is all powered. Everything is connected still. So basically, there's 4 separate loops. There's a main line, which is about 140 foot of track.
I see the heart of the layout. What can you tell us about the heart of the layout here?
Well, this is I run TMCC, Legacy, and DCS, as you can see. I have 4 Powerhouse 180s, and if you sneak down and look up here, I have a little thing that I created, which is I'm using the DCS remote commanders as watchdog generators, so that 3 of the 4 loops, everything but the main line, will keep MTH engines shut down and silent until you address them, which is something that's an annoyance on a lot of layouts. I have Wi-Fi for both MTH and Legacy, the LCS system, and you can see the LCS CSMs too that give you switch positions for the DZ2500 switch machines. And the astute observer will notice that the switch machine leads are not yet wired to them. That's coming. The other
What do we have on these upper boards, John?
the other relay boards, those are controlling power to sidings. There's remote switches, and the actual power goes through those 10
Is
amp
that
relays.
hand remote that you have?
No, it's actually little switches on the bezel on the fascia. The hand remote, on the other hand, this guy right here, controls these 4 transformers, and the 5th button turns off the entire layout.
That's pretty cool.
So anywhere I'm walking around, I can kill 1 or more transformers, and I can kill the whole layout. So I also added the Atlas turntable because I had a little spot here that would fit. All of this is TMCC controlled. I can spin the table. And obviously power up.
Hold on a minute.
Yep.
Stop it right there. Look, with conductor. Oh man, Conductor Duck wanted to go for a ride.
Ah, well. And obviously I can
Jeez.
turn on any track.
Ah, Conductor Duck's getting a ride on a turntable. conductor duck goes.
Go, ducky, go.
That was size engine, isn't it?
Yeah. Conductor ducks even has his seatbelt on.
Needs it. We got 2 trains on the main line, which is about 140 feet of track.
Now arriving from New York on track 3, train number 17, the Aero train.
Now we're going to sneak into the infamous Gunrunner John's Mad Science Lab here. Nobody's ever been in this secret spot before. How you doing, John?
Hey, invaders.
Yeah, show us what you got, what you've been working on, and what's new.
Well, you've seen this briefly, the MP3 player that I recently dropped off at the store. This is a 5-channel sound player, which you can trigger either using a key fob or discrete inputs. And the discrete inputs can be virtually anything you'd find on your train layout, from 2 volts to 18 volts. You know, we'll trigger the channels, and each channel can be triggered here. The first 4 channels can be triggered with this. So if I want to just put this in a car and do the simple thing, just use the key fob, I can play sounds that way. Change sound.
Yeah, that's more my speed, using a key fob.
So I can do that, and I can also put a voltage on pin, and I change to a different track.
So the kit itself comes with the board, the remote.
The board, the remote, the pigtail, so you don't have to fool with the remotes, a power, and a lead for a speaker. I don't supply a speaker because there's so many different speakers.
I guess it depends on what you're putting in and what the application is, huh?
Right. Audio clips are MP3. You can create them on your computer, because you actually put them on a micro SD.
And one of those come with your kit,
The micro SD and a USB reader also comes with the kit, so that you can plug it into any computer and read and write this micro SD.
Nice.
And there's an excellent free piece of software called Audacity, which you can edit and create the MP3s. So this will give sound to accessories, rolling stock, you name it. Another thing, of course, is like all of my electronic modules, this is DCS safe. It won't affect your MTH DCS signal at all. So the next thing coming down the pike, which we'll still waiting on some parts, but these are all the prototypes of the different pieces, is a universal remote control. And this again will either use the key fob, use the same technology, or I have a transmitter which you can put at a remote location, and it will send a signal to trigger any of these. So there's a 4-channel relay board, which obviously you can, and that's just a test rig to show you that the 4 channels are working. You can trigger any one of the 4 channels with the buttons or the remote transmitter. This is a 1-channel 5-amp relay, which you can trigger again, but it's 1 channel, so the other channel, it doesn't react to the other channels. You'll notice, even though it sees that signal, it says that's not mine, and now here it sees it. This is a single channel FET based board, the smallest receiver I have, and it's also a 1 channel, but it's selectable to any one of the 4. So it says it'll see this one, it won't see any of the other channels. So you can have 4 of these on the 4 buttons in 4 different cars.
So each button would work in a different car.
Each button would work a different car. And you could have 4 of these being controlled by this transmitter, and each input to this transmitter, which I'll show you next, would do the same thing. So here we are, and I have a nice low voltage here. And we'll just hook it up to the commons, and we'll just say, okay, there's one. So that comes in there. We say, okay, there's one. Now this relay, this is on 2, so it saw that. Here we go here. This one, oops, I'm touching 2 of them together. This one now is seeing it, and of course the 4-channel is seeing it as well. Now this, just that guy sees it. So again, any voltage you find on your layout, you can send into these pins to trigger this. It's all optical isolated. There's, it's another feature of both the receivers and the transmitter is they have different modes of operation. So we can do some interesting things. First of all, we reset this guy. We'll tell him we want to go into latching mode. Okay, so now, I said I wanted into latching mode, so when I push the button, it turns the light on. It turns the channel on, but it stays on until I hit it again. Ditto here. Each channel now stays on. Okay, that's keen. The transmitter also has modes to match these, so that when you have an input here, it will only transmit for a brief interval and not tie up the bandwidth. But you can still latch that there. So basically, this is intended to be a universal remote, which will do many different functions, and that's the whole point. You can configure both the transmitter and receiver
to different sound cards and stuff like that.
And to turn lights on, to do couplers, you name it, you can program it to do it. So one sample of the universal remote, I put the 4-channel receiver in this boxcar. This is the new Union Pacific flat spot boxcar. It has 3 different sound tracks that you can select with 2 switches. And one of the things that it doesn't have is with the 2 switches, you can never select no sound. Even though the documentation says you can, it doesn't work that way. So what I've done is again, using this key fob, I've implemented a power on. I have a 2-stage volume, and then I can set the 2 switches to get any of the 3 sound sets. So I turn the first one, turns the volume on, and the car has a little startup sound.
So basically you're taking the existing Lionel sound box car and making it fully remote control.
Right, I'm making it remote control. That is.
So you don't have to pick the box car up to make the changes and
right.
like volume control or on and off.
And you can drive it around and play with the settings to see what you like without having to stop, fool around with the switches, and then try to get it going again. So we'll get this guy moving. Here's the volume. I can turn it down. And now,
or you can turn the volume off.
now this is the lowest setting of the sounds. You can hear it still has sounds. This is actually what Lionel says is no sounds. You can hear every once in a while it throws in some sounds in there.
So that's the minimum setting.
That's the minimum, although they think it's nothing.
And that's the maximum.
And this is the next one down.
I'm always running the maximum on the layout.
Here's the minimum. It's been a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys dropping by and visiting the layout. And hopefully you can come by again when we make a little more progress, have some scenery, you know, get Harry to work here. And maybe we'll have some new products to show you too.
All right, we'd like to thank everybody for what we had tonight. John for inviting us, and Bill with his new toys. Walt showed us some good books tonight.
Next week, we're actually taking a week off. Harry will be away. He's taking a vacation trip down Florida and such. So he's going to be away, and I'll be away next week, and I got a Boy Scout camping trip to do.
And we'll be making videos on the way back up the coast, stopping at a few places. So there might be some upcoming videos for some of our shows.
Sounds good.
That would be nice.
In 2 weeks, we're going to have share some video footage that's done by Sean Conahay, and he's also going to be a guest with us. So we'll kind of run him through the grill. I have a few questions for him about what he does and his videoing and stuff. So we'll share that in 2 weeks.
With that, we'd like to say goodbye. Oh, don't forget, Bill needs a church.
Oh yes, Bill needs a church. Remember that. Bill needs a church is a Plasticville church. We do have a little model building contest. Double check our website, HENNIng'S, or you can check our Facebook page. All the information's there. Bill needs a church for the layout at the train shop.
With that, the end of the night. John, your turn to blow the whistle.
All right.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
Yep. See you in a couple weeks.